Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Now, there are plans to build a massive gas plant, a power station in Peterhead. This is, of course, an eminently sensible idea. Energy security is national security, and of course, having all the wind turbines and solar and whatever, all very fine and pleasant until it's dark and the wind isn't blowing, and then the hospitals close and the factories close and people freeze in their homes. And then what do you do? Well, of course you'd like to have a bit of spare capacity and either nuke or fossil fuel. And since Scotland decided, strangely, not to go with nuke, you're down to fossil fuel. It's a no-brainer, which is why it's the no-brains of the Greens that are against it. So we'll have a look at this to see why they are trying to push away plans for this massive gas plant to provide a lot of power very cleanly, and yet they're against it. They'll be the first ones complaining when there's no power, of course. But hey ho, you can't win with these people. They're all retarded. Let's have a look. Now, I know you have to be pretty dim to vote for the Greens or the SNP, but can you really imagine a world where you don't have sufficient energy? Where halfway through the day, factories have to close, people have to go home. They don't get paid, of course, because there's no productivity. Or where, your granny is in an operating theatre and all of a sudden the power goes down. They haven't even got the machines to keep her alive. So lots of people will die. But that's okay as far as the Greens are concerned, because at least you're not burning a tiny, tiny bit of gas to keep the power on. Never mind the fact that China are going to open up 26 power stations for burning coal, and that India itself is going to quadruple its coal-powered fire stations within the next 3 years. That tiny, tiny section of what Scotland does is the thing that will save the planet, apparently, but at what a cost. So the plan for this massive Peterhead gas plant must be rejected by the SNP Green chiefs, say lunatic campaigners. A new gas-fired power plant equipped with carbon capture technology is proposed to expand SSE's existing power station in Aberdeenshire. Now, this has got the carbon. This is it. It pumps the carbon, it captures the carbon, it pumps it back down into the wells that the gas and oil came from. It's going back where it came. That's not good enough for the lunatics and the fools in the Greens and the SNP. None of whom know what they're talking about, of course, because they're all morons. Anyway, plans for a huge new gas plant in Peterhead are unnecessary, they say, and it will damage climate efforts and lock Scots into higher bills, eco-campaigners have warned. Really? Evidence? Or are they just quoting that? Because we all know it's complete bullshit. When the wind doesn't blow and you haven't got enough energy, how are you powering the people of Scotland? How do those... You've got to remember, you all want electric cars and electric homes. There's only one way to deal with it. 36 nuclear power stations. That's for cars. That's to generate enough energy to power every car in Britain. 36 nuclear power stations. And you're moaning about one gas fire station. And you want to make everything green and electric. Good luck. Anyway, the new power station is to be built alongside existing plants at Peterhead. It will be equipped with new carbon capture technology, and it's hoped this will massively slash emissions from the site. But activists have questioned claims from the energy firms involved in the project. Perth-based SSE and Norwegian oil giant Equinor that the facility could capture more than 90% of carbon burned. They don't make these claims off the top of their heads, They do have more of an idea than you. These guys are engineers, mathematicians, they're physicists, they're chemists. They know exactly what they're talking about. They can do the numbers. You can't. You are tree-hugging, tofu-sipping hippies who know precisely bugger all about what you're talking about. They say no carbon capture and storage scheme on the planet has ever successfully and consistently trapped that much CO2. Maybe not. This will be the first. Who knows? But regardless, it's still going to trap a hell of a lot. The CCS process aims to suck harmful carbon from the air as fossil fuels are burned before it can get into the atmosphere. The gas would then be piped into empty oil wells under the sea. The planning application, which proposes an expansion of the existing site with a new 910 megawatt gas burning power station and carbon capture plant, is now the Scottish Ministers for approval. And if they say no, you might as well pack up and move out of Scotland, because you will run out of energy. Energy security is national security. And these people want to deny you having enough energy to live on. And it is going to be bad. SSE's current 1,190 megawatt gas power station at Peterhead has been Scotland's biggest polluter for the last 5 years. The firm insists the new plant will provide vital, low carbon, flexible backup to renewables, and it would run well into the 2050s, beyond the Scottish Government target date for net zero of 2045. And it's a much, much cleaner system. Now, if you want truly clean, of course, nuke. Nuke is the way. Nuclear is your friend if you want clean power. Of course, the big problem is all those houses, they want to get rid of gas, all those houses going electric, all those cars going electric. No one knows what you're doing with the petrol. Still going to be cracked. You're still going to have it. What can you do with it? Who knows? Nobody's worked that one out yet. But you haven't got the power generation for this, so you need to build lots of power stations. Now, you have two options. You either build lots of nukes, or you build lots of coal and gas and fossil fuel burners. That's it. They're your two options. You can't magic electricity. You can't pluck it from your arse. You've got to generate it. Bird choppers aren't going to be enough. Not to power industry, houses, cars, the lot. You cannot power a nation on windmills. Friends of the Earth Scotland claimed, as well as hammering national climate efforts, greenlighting the project would lock Scottish households into paying energy bills driven by international gas prices for at least the next 25 years. Well, already you are paying a huge surplus on your electricity bill just for the privilege. So how about cheap electricity? It's easy. Burn that. Gas is cheaper than electricity. Burn the gas, charge you that, and take the tariff off the electricity. Then it's cheaper, isn't it? Assholes. Anyway, climate campaigner Alex Lee said the Scottish Government must firmly reject this dangerous plan. It's not dangerous. What is dangerous about it? They're using language like it's dangerous. It's perfectly safe. Gas burning technology has been around for 100 years. When's the oh yes, they're always blowing up, aren't they? No, they are safe as houses. They have 58 lines of cutout. They will never go. They are safe. Talking up their arse. Fuel poverty is already through the roof, while companies like SSE and Equinor are making billions in profits. Fuel poverty is caused by excess bill on electricity. There is a surcharge on electricity bills. Now, if you want to reduce electricity bills, energy charges, take the surcharges off the energy bills, make the energy bills VAT free, because it's not a luxury item, is it? And remove the daily charge, or cut the standing charge. Cut the standing charge to 1 unit a day. That would be fair. It's not hard. If they are making that much profit, you just take the standing charge off. There you go. That would save a fortune. Anyway, constructing a new station that is powered by burning gas means that household bills will be chained to this price for decades to come, they say. Renewables are already far cheaper than fossil fuels. That's a lie. And politicians have repeatedly said we must transition to them for our energy future. Also a lie. So it's shocking that they're even considering approving this backward step. Forward step. First of all, have you seen how difficult it is to make the renewables? If you see the holes in the ground all over Africa where they're digging these things up with machines that use 1,000 gallons of oil a day just to get the ore out, and then there's all the energy moved in transporting the ore, then there's all the energy used in processing the ore just to get the raw material out of it, then you have to process the raw material, then you're transporting it, making it, transporting it. When you look at the whole thing and look at the energy outlay on it, it's very, very nasty. You've got to look at the poisons involved in solar panels as well. It's a load of bollocks. These people haven't got a clue what they're talking about. Anyway, they said this whole project is built on the rotten foundations of carbon capture. What? Carbon capture was the big thing that the Greens were pushing about 5 years ago. Anyway, this greenwashing technology has never delivered anywhere on Earth at the scale being claimed for Peterhead. Well, nothing has ever been claimed anything until it's been done. That's the whole point of progress. In 2023, also, if they're so clever, please tell me what you're going to do with the petrol. I have no idea. Nobody knows what you're going to do with the petrol. Anyway, in 2023, SSE almost quadrupled profits from its gas-burning power stations. Fine. Tax them, but also get rid of the standing charge. That's the easiest way. I'm not even going to read the rest of it. It's all bollocks. These people just haven't got a clue what they're talking about. What are you going to do? All these renewables when it's dark and the wind's not blowing, you are fucked. And that's it. Fire up the power stations. Fire up the gas. Fire up the coal. Who cares? You don't want to be cold. You don't want to run out of energy. Now you ask these stupid Greens what they're going to do, and they go, "Oh well, batteries." Or also, if you know how dirty batteries are. Anyway, coming up. I do desperately worry about the future, because the future is going to be run by people who think like this, with people who are this stupid. When you have got a society run by stupid people, and you have to pander to these stupid people because to call them stupid is offensive. So you have to go, oh, yes, 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 yes. Even though inside you're screaming, you are a fucking retard! Shut up! But of course, what comes on the outside is, oh, yes, yes, I'm sure that'll be a fine idea, because you're not allowed to insult these fucktards, are you? They are as thick as... Ask them, first of all, 3 questions. What do they do when it's dark with the solar panels? What do they do when the wind ain't blowing with the windmills? And thirdly and finally, the one that always fucks them. What are you doing with the petrol? And they'll come and go, well, we won't be drilling for petrol. And you go, yeah, might not be drilling for petrol, but we're still drilling for oil, for the 47 million things that we need oil for that do not involve running cars or burning it. These people have got the IQ of a moose. Anyway, I'll stop there. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video, and I apologise for my swearing, but I just can't help it. These people are so stupid, it drives me doolally. Till next time, bye bye.